Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Nature and the Wild. It's been quite long that I had some chance to go out and make some videos and give you some nice on-field review on my camera and the lens I am using right now. So today I thought it's quite sunny after the rain last few weeks, and this is the good time so we can go out and have some discussion about it. So this video is all about my 8-month review about this camera. I have been using Canon R7 almost now 8 months, Sigma 150 to 600 contemporary, and this is Canon R7. Key points for this review, so it will be a complete overview of this camera, my real life experiences, what I used day to day. So the first point, let's go through the whole setup. I have connected this Sigma 600 mm with EOS R connector here, which just mount on your R7, so you can use any Canon EF lenses, whether it is manufactured by Canon or manufactured by some other company, Sigma, Tamron, or etc. So you can mount those EF mounting, only EF mounting lenses to this camera using this EFS EOR converter. So this is really handy. So that means you don't need to spend a lot of money on the RF lenses. So anyway, they have their own drawbacks. So Sigma lenses are third party, so their compatibility has always an issue, not a lot but little bit, and the Canon lenses are native lenses, so they are quite on a different level. Anyways, but this is a budget review, so I have this setup in my budget, so that is not very expensive one. You can get this Sigma 600 mm contemporary, especially with a 1.4x converter, somewhere around 1300 euros in Netherlands, and I paid around 1650 for my R7, so quite good. Weight is quite heavy. If you are not pretty habitual with your camera setup, so this will be quite weight. So you guys can always do some practice, take it outside, hold it, and after a few days you will feel comfortable. The Sigma 600 mm is on a crop sensor body, so Canon R7 is a crop sensor, so that means it has a 1.6 crop factor. So this 600 lens will become 960 mm. So that means when you capture a picture, you can crop it, it will be equivalent to 960 mm. So that's a very good reach within this money. And yeah, you always need, people using mirrorless cameras, but as a bird photographer, I always look more into the reach, how far I can go and how close I can capture the birds. So this is really something we need to look at it. Second thing, many people have questions, what about the autofocus setup with this camera? So let me tell you, this Sigma 600 mm with Canon R7 works perfectly fine. Although if you compare with the RF 500 with this Canon with this Sigma 600, there is a small delay of the focus speed. So that means those RF lenses are much faster than Sigma, but that's not the stopping point. Sigma 600 give you as equal speed as other Canon lenses, so there is no problem. You can shoot the bird in motion, you can shoot the bird when it's moving too much, like a woodpecker or like a small tit. So you can shoot anything with this setup, so that's not gonna stop you. At least for me, after 8 months, I have no issues with that. Eventually, I also use my 1.4x converter, which connect to the Sigma lenses, and then I connect that to my Canon camera, so it's become 940, and somewhere with 1.6 factor, if you do the maths, somewhere around 1100 1200 mm of distance, which is very good, but not recommended for the fast moving object, because the Sigma autofocus will be lagging there, it will be slow. So if you use 1.4x converter and try to capture the moving birds in a fast motion or the flying bird. Please don't use that. But for the making the videos, I always use that. That's really good, give a nice depth of field for making or capturing the pictures like a duck which is not moving so faster, and that's pretty much good. So slow moving objects are always good, fast moving object no good. But yeah, again, so there are a couple of things on this camera. You can use its autofocus systems in different scenarios. I always use the spot on, or that's really good. And then you have different cases to make sure that your camera is focusing rightly and locking on the subject. So these things are really needed. So I always do my setups. Let me just get inside that. So I keep my autofocus operation as servo. I can show you guys. You can see autofocus operation is a servo, and then the autofocus is the spot on, and then I have my animal detection on, eye detection on. And if I go to here, these are the cases which are on the autofocus second menu. So I always use the cases a little bit customized for my Sigma lenses, because there is a point, many people they talk about the pulsing. Yes, Sigma lenses do have pulsing, but if your subject is less than 150 mm, which is the minimum focal length of this lens, you will get a pulsing issue. It's not only with the Sigma, it's with all the lenses you use, any manufacturer. If your subject is less than the minimum focal length, you will get an issue of the pulsing. So what is the pulsing? Pulsing means it's consistently shifting its focus from let's say it's going out of focus and come back into the focus. So like blur and focus, something like that. So there is another video on my channel which show you the settings, how you can set it up your Sigma lens for the minimal focus pulsing issue. I don't have any issue then, because I always shoot the birds which are always far away from me. So this is quite nice. Then I use electronic shutter with the 15 frame per second. I use electronic shutter mode on this camera, which is very nice, fast, low sound mode, and with the 15 frame per second. Please don't go with more than 15 frame with electronic shutter. Sometimes you will get the rolling shutter effect, which is really not good. Yeah. So yeah, and I shoot all the time in the manual mode. I also have this custom button set up, C1, C2, and also set up my back button as an autofocus, and I use this button, the star button, to swap my function. So that means I use the manual mode and also set it up the swap button, so that will let's say a bird is moving and flying, and I'm shooting something else and I want to shoot that bird. I just press this button, it goes into my pre-setup, which is the high shutter speed and the low ISO, and then I can just shoot the bird without changing any parameter on the camera. So this is very handy. Explore the camera, make some setups, put the back button on autofocus, put that star button, swap to your ready to go clicking bird function. So that will be really nice add-on on this camera. So this is a very nice setup, ready to go gear within the low price range, and absolutely marvelous. I have no issue after 8 months. I have nice pictures. I will put into the video. You can see they are sharp enough, and all you need just a bit of practice to handle this weight. Something I really wanted to discuss with you guys within this 10 minutes of time. I don't want to drag this video along. If you have any questions, please put them into the comment. I will try to rectify your questions and give you a proper answer. Again, I hope all the beginner video photographers out there, my video will help you to understand about this camera, about this compatibility with Sigma 600, which is a great buy, must buy option right now in the market. You will not find anything cheaper than this. By the way, this Sigma lens, small mode, This has a couple of options here. You can customize, you can connect to a Sigma dock, you can customize your focus, your functionality here, your image stabilizations, your custom 1, custom 2 functions. So you can pretty much do a lot of stuff with your lens. You can find out your sweet spot where the lens will be more sharper, and that will really help. But you need a Sigma docking station, which you need to buy separately, which doesn't comes with the lens. So again, thanks a lot for staying with me. Please like and subscribe my channel, and that will give me really a boost to do new stuff. And today I got a couple of new birds, so I will put the picture in the video. Enjoy, thanks, and keep supporting me. So if I go inside the camera, the first setting, you need to set your autofocus operation. That always must be on the servo, because when the animals are moving too fast, the servo is quite capable to detect the animal. And then I use autofocus area as a spot on. There are a couple of, I will talk about 2 things. When I'm shooting most of the birds and I know where I have to focus, I always use the spot on. But sometimes people are shooting like the flying birds, then I will suggest to use the whole area autofocus, because it's more easy with the flying birds to focus on the particular subject, you know. So that's pretty useful. Once you're on, you just come and put your subject tracking is on, always on. Is make sure that your subjects are tracked. And I put it as an animal, and it's more easy when you put it as an animal. Then it can detect the animal type, and also the eye detections is always enabled. And I keep my switch track subject as on. That means it's a locked on. It's not going to move its focus anywhere. Then the second option, which I really going a little bit depth today, is the autofocus cases. So you have 4 cases which comes with your camera. Most of the time, for me, if I talk, I use autofocus 2, the case 2. And what I did, because with the Sigma, many people say, oh, I have a Sigma pulsing issue, or the Sigma is not focusing in an optimal way. So I always told them what you need to do. First, you have to think what kind of subject you are tracking or you are shooting. So for my cases, I'm shooting the birds. So in that case, I use the case 2, and the track sensitivity, if I go in, I always put it on the locked on. So that means it keeps tracking the subject. It's not going to move its focus from the subject to any other stuff. Second thing is the acceleration and deceleration. What does it mean? That means sudden movement. So if you have a subject which is moving too much from left to right or right to left, or it's too much dynamics, you know, so you need to make sure that your camera focus is capable to move that, to record that movements. In that case, we have this case 2, and then I put it on the locked on in the -1. So that means it will pointing to the initial subjects, keep pointing to the initial subjects, and that is pretty much important for your bird photo.